Ada for not reconciling with my family after being degraded for not bringing my brother's luggage inside? For context, I am 19F, I have an older half-brother with high-functioning autism 20M, and a younger full-blood sister 17F. My brother has no relation between my dad's family besides my sister and I. My grandmother had a sister with some sort of disability, I'm not sure which kind. I was never able to meet her, and she died about a year to a year and a half ago. At this time I was the only sibling who owned a car. I would like to note that growing up and visiting with my dad's side of the family, it was clear that this whole family was severely narcissistic/borderline emotionally abusive towards the younger members. This situation starts in early August. We had met with our family, and the last day of our vacation we were staying the night with our grandparents. When we arrived at the house, my sister and I immediately grabbed our luggage from the car and headed inside. And when we got in, our brother asked us where his luggage was. And I jokingly told him, "Oh, we left it in __________ while I was walking upstairs to get ready for bed." Unfortunately, he did not catch on to the joke and let our grandmother know his concerns about his luggage. Just to clarify, he did watch me put his luggage into my car earlier that day, and he let me know after that it had just slipped his mind. So, our grandmother marched up the stairs and immediately started having a field day with my sister, and I was wondering what was going on in the hallway, so I opened the door to be greeted with yelling. I was confused about what this was about, to which she angrily expressed how disappointed she was in us for deliberately trying to leave him, my brother, out all vacation. "You both are horrible sisters, and he really deserves better siblings because you both are always making his life miserable." And she proceeded to yell at us like that for about 15 minutes before I could actually get a word in. And when I was able to explain our side of the story, my sister was so hysterical she couldn't speak up for herself. My grandmother immediately started backtracking by saying, "Oh well, he didn't tell me that," in which I argued back, "Well, maybe if you would have approached this situation more calmly and not accusatory, we could have straightened it out like adults. But instead you had to storm in with guns blazing when you didn't have the full story." Then she sent my sister and I out to the car to get his luggage, and that was the end of the night. We were hysterical all night and slept a max of 4 hours total. In the morning we waited for our grandparents to come down and turn off the alarm system, and while they were doing that, instead of giving an apology like one would expect after the previous night, she said to us, "You guys are siblings and will be all you have at the end of the day, you need to be kinder to each other." And we left. Now fast forward a few months. My siblings and I have made no effort to contact our grandparents because we never got a proper apology. The night we were yelled at caused us all distress and made us all anxious. About a week before Thanksgiving, my dad messages my sister and I asking if we planned on going to see our grandparents for Thanksgiving. And we were honest with him and told him we didn't want to see them until we were given an apology. He immediately got upset with us because when he asked us why we wouldn't ask them for an apology, we told him that we thought after the night we had with no apology, it should be a sign that maybe she did something fucked up that would warrant an apology. And at this point he was livid. He drove to my house, I wasn't home, I was at college, and turned off and took my sister's phone, but he stopped and gave the phone to my mom when she had gotten home, saying my sister could not have her phone back. After that he called me, yelling at me for being such a great adult because I wouldn't communicate with my grandparents. He went on and on about how disappointed he was in me and that I was ungrateful for taking this one horrible situation too far because, in his words, they never beat you, left you outside in the cold, never starved you, made you do ungodly tasks. He finished his rant by saying, "I'm turning off your phone and I expect to have it back by ________. I'm also taking you off of my car insurance." And he hung up on me. He told my sister and I that we had ruined his Thanksgiving. So I ask, are we TAH for not making up with our grandparents and now our father? If you have any questions, please ask. Edit. I do want to add some clarifying points. Our mom has been working with my brother to help get him to be more independent because he used to need reminders to do things because he was so caught up in gaming. I'm not justifying that my joke was okay or funny because it wasn't, and I know that I should have been more serious with him. However, during childhood I would always see my family, grandparents, aunts, my dad, treating him like he was annoying, and they all would have very short tempers with him. But because he had autism, he was never really able to read into and like my sister and I could, so we did our best as children to shield him from their tempers. The only reason they started treating him more kindly this year was because my aunt's new husband was thinking he might have autism. He didn't, he got tested, he's just a psycho. But I digress. I've realized my dad was semi-right about me being immature. I will have a conversation with my grandparents, let them know how it felt and why I felt that way. But I don't think I will be talking to my dad for now because telling me he's taking me off his insurance was a power play to get my sister and I to go to Thanksgiving. Thank you for any criticism, I really do appreciate the outsider's insight.